Hey guys, welcome to Magnum XL 200 Productions. Today we're going to be looking at my top 10 roller coasters. I hope you like it, and let's get started. So, for number 10, we have Mako. White Lightning for number 10. White Lightning is a white wooden roller coaster, and it is very new, but it feels very rickety, but that's what you want in a good wooden roller coaster. So you get a lot of airtime. It's a pretty long ride for Fun Spot. No theming or anything, but it's just there, and you get so many good forces, and it just feels so good. So make sure you ride it. There's usually not a long line. Number 9 is Magnum XL 200. So for Magnum, it's at Cedar Point, and Cedar Point is one of the best parks. And Magnum XL is in that park, so that makes it even better. So make sure you ride this. There's a lot of airtime. And I gotta thank those poor upstop wheels for giving me that triangle airtime at the end. That airtime is the best airtime in all of Cedar Point. So make sure that you ride this. That's why I named my channel Magnum XL Productions. Number 8 is Valraven. Now, Valraven is a very smooth, in some places, B&M dive coaster. It's very smooth most of the time, except in a few of the outward seats. This usually has a very long line, usually upwards of an hour and a half. So make sure you get on this in the morning or in the evening. Now, as you can see, those brakes are not the best part. That's the only downside of this ride. The friction brakes stop you and you barely move, and then the rest of the ride is dead. Number 7 is Mako. Mako is a very fun B&M, and it's very tall and very fast, and I think that this is one of the best B&Ms out there. So make sure you ride it at SeaWorld Orlando. It usually doesn't have a long line, and even in the evenings, you can ride it 5 times in a row without getting off, because SeaWorld's usually dead at night. So have fun on Mako. Those airtime hills on the way back are fun. Number 6 is Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. Now, Mystic Timbers is another Woody on my list. It's made by GCI, and it opened back in 2016. This ride is amazing. You get lots of airtime in the woods, and there's a tunnel. There's the shed. You gotta go and you gotta see what's in the shed. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but the shed, a great scene in the ride, and this ride is as smooth as Woody's get, and it was amazing. And number 5 is Iron Gwazi. Now, Iron Gwazi is the first RMC on this list. It is amazing. So that is the sound of the RMC. It is just so good and so awesome and just so incredible that you gotta ride it. It's almost as good as Steel Vengeance, but not there. You go through a lot of inversions, a lot of airtime, but it's just not as long as Steel Vengeance, so I couldn't put it at the top. Number 4 is Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. Now, this ride is awesome. The best part of this ride is the theming and not the thrill, but the theming is totally worth it. Now, for this ride, you'll be waiting upwards of 120 minutes, which, if it says 120 minutes, make sure you ride it. It doesn't matter the wait. It's going to be worth it. Now, this ride goes through the woods in Harry Potter Land at Universal Studios Orlando, and the launches are punchy, and the transitions are smooth. Number 3, Millennium Force at Cedar Point. Millennium Force, some call it Millennium Forceless. I call it Millennium Some Force. This ride is a staple of Cedar Point. It's the 3rd best in the park, and it gives some airtime on the first drop, but I just love the speed and the low-to-ground elements on this ride. So make sure you get on this. This ride can have a long wait, but if you go right after the park opens, it usually does not have a long wait. And number 2 is Maverick at Cedar Point. Now, this ride has a really punchy launch. It has 2 launches. The first one, kind of slow. It kind of serves as the lift hill, but it's a launch anyway, so you don't have to be scared because you're already at the top. And then the second part of it is the second launch. And the second half is the better part of the ride because you're going like 70 miles per hour. And the first part of the ride has a lot of whippy elements. So if you do not have a strong neck, do not ride this. And then the number one, the best, the most amazing roller coaster in the entire world is Steel Vengeance. Now, Steel Vengeance is arguably the best roller coaster in the world. I haven't ridden every roller coaster, but it's my favorite so far. When I originally rode it, I thought Millennium Force was better, but I rode it more, and I figured out that, yeah, this is the best. This is the best probably in the world. Maybe not Ride of Happiness, but I don't know. But it has so much airtime, so many airtime hills, and there's so many inversions. And when you go in the inversions in the wood structure, it's just so amazing, and you do not know where to go. But make sure you ride this at night, because at night, you do not know where you're going, especially when you're in that structure. So make sure you get on this. Now, for this ride, you will be waiting a lot, but I recommend riding it on a weekday. It might only be a 45-minute wait, but you could be waiting upwards of 120 minutes. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.